Episode 12. The Fountain Speaks. Previously on Tongue of the Serpent. The mirrors began to answer. Sabine reached through water and glass. The crew felt the pattern tighten. Celeste glimpsed the hidden machinery of the city, and every reflection revealed itself as a door. Some surfaces are meant to be silent. Some reflections are not merely images. They are openings. This is Season 3, Episode 12 of Tongue of the Serpent. The Fountain Speaks. In this chapter, the past does not whisper. It shows itself. A widow's grief is laid gently to rest. Sabine reveals what the mirrors have been preparing. A lost child's story is opened again, and Evelyn is called into a dream older than memory itself. Every reflection is an opening. Every opening is a return. Tonight, the fountain will speak. Afternoon echoes in glass. The afternoon light found the crew in one of its quieter moods, the kind of hush that belongs to old libraries and the moment after confession. Evelyn stood before the counter, retying bundles of rosemary with twine. The scent filled the air, green, sharp, a reminder that not everything that burns does so in grief. Outside, the street shimmered with heat. Inside, the mirrors stayed obediently still. The bell above the door rang. A woman stepped in, middle-aged, carefully dressed. Grief pressed into every line of her face. She carried a ceramic vase against her chest, as if it might bruise if she breathed too hard.
"Miss Devereaux,"
she said softly.
"you helped my niece with the haunted gazebo last spring?"
"Just Evelyn,"
she corrected.
"And how's your niece?"
"Married,"
the woman said.
"To a man who collects clocks. I suppose that's a kind of optimism?"
She gave a quick, embarrassed smile, then looked down at the vase.
"I didn't know where else to go."
Evelyn gestured toward the table near the front window, where light pooled like honey.
"Let's have a look."
The woman set the vase down. It was old, hand-painted, small enough to cradle. A delicate crack ran around the neck like a healed scar. Inside, the faintest shimmer of movement stirred. Not liquid, not light. Something between them.
"My husband bought it for me,"
the woman said.
"before he passed. I keep seeing him in it. Not like memories. His reflection. He looks at me when I walk past. Sometimes he tries to speak."
Evelyn bent closer. The hum started almost immediately. Low, electric. The same vibration the angel egg had taken to emitting in the evenings.
"How long has this been happening?"
"A week,"
the widow said.
"I told Father LeBlanc, and he said perhaps it's my grief. But grief doesn't turn its head when you do."
Evelyn nodded gently.
"No, it doesn't."
Lucian's voice floated from the back room.
"We're out of rose quartz again. Either the spirits are nesting, or you're feeling charitable."
"Both,"
she called back.
"Don't come out yet."
He didn't argue. He'd learned that tone meant work of the quieter kind. Evelyn ran a finger just above the vase's lip, not touching. The vibration deepened, harmonic now, like something trying to tune itself. In the glaze, she saw faint shapes. A man's face, smiling faintly, the curve of his mouth trembling between affection and apology.
"Hello, sir,"
she murmured.
"You've lingered too long."
The reflection blinked. The light inside the vase flared gold for a heartbeat, the same gold she'd seen from the egg. That echo again, that link she couldn't quite name. She turned to the widow.
"He's not trapped,"
Evelyn said.
"He's simply unfinished."
I just wanted him to rest.
The woman whispered.
I told him I'd be all right, but I think he doesn't believe me.
Evelyn reached for a bundle of rosemary and a small brass dish.
"May I?"
The widow nodded. Evelyn struck a match and let the herbs catch. The smoke rose in pale ribbons, curling with the air like writing. She circled the vase 3 times, murmuring the words Sister Mercy had once taught her. Not prayer, not spell, something in between. A language that soothed rather than commanded.
"By breath and bone, by mirror and moon, you've seen enough. You've loved enough. Go easy. Go home."
The hum softened. The reflection's edges blurred. For one split second, it seemed to sigh, a long exhalation that shimmered through the glass and broke into a spill of light, dust fine, tender. The widow gasped, tears cutting clean tracks down her cheeks.
He looked happy,
she said.
"He was,"
Evelyn answered.
"He believed you."
The smoke drifted toward the shop window and thinned there. In the pane of glass, Evelyn caught another reflection. Not the widow's, not her own. Sabine's. The young girl's face gazed back from the glass, serene, faintly smiling, the kind of smile that forgives without being asked. Gratitude, not warning. The air around Evelyn shimmered with warmth, not cold. Then the image rippled and vanished, leaving only the afternoon sunlight and a shop that smelled of rosemary and clean endings. Evelyn touched the glass with one fingertip, murmured,
"Thank you,"
though she wasn't sure to whom. The widow's husband, Sabine, the city itself. Behind her, Lucian stepped quietly into the room, drying his hands on a cloth.
Peaceful, whatever it was.
"It was, and
she said.
That's what frightens me."
He tilted his head.
You're not used to peace.
"It always comes before something changes,"
she said. He smiled, small, rueful.
Then we'll drink tea and pretend it's mercy.
They shared a quiet look, the kind that said, "We know what waits in the mirrors," and went about tidying the table. Outside, Jackson Square rang with music again, brass bright enough for the afternoon. Inside, the crew smelled of rosemary and old love that had finally learned to let go. Evening, the fountain speaks. Evening settled over the crew of the Morning Star like a long exhale. The lights were dimmed. The last customer's footsteps had faded into Royal Street. The faint scent of rosemary and ash lingered, caught in the carved corners of the old shop. Lucian and Evelyn worked in silence, clearing the last traces of salt and candle wax from the day's rites. When Lucian straightened, a small cut along his palm glimmered faintly in the lamplight. Glass again, though he thought he'd swept it all away. He flexed his fingers, frowning.
We should finish what we started this morning.
Evelyn looked up from the counter, where a stray reflection still trembled across a jar of lavender water.
You mean the mirrors?
He nodded.
All of them together.
A pause, soft, but full of understanding. She gathered her shawl, her voice low.
Then let's begin with the fountain.
The courtyard waited like a memory half remembered. Lanterns hanging from the iron trellis, the jasmine in bloom, the fountain catching moonlight like a secret. The air smelled faintly of rain that hadn't arrived yet. Lucian carried the mirror wrapped in linen. Evelyn brought a bowl of river stones steeped in holy water and herbs. Together, they set the pieces around the fountain. Mirror to the north, flame to the east, water to the west, salt to the south. Evelyn's tone was pragmatic, grounding them both.
This isn't about banishment.
Lucian smiled faintly.
No, it's a conversation.
She inclined her head, approving.
Then speak kindly.
The mirror's cloth lifted as if caught by a breath. The glass beneath it shimmered, cracked, yes, but alive. The reflection didn't show their faces. It showed the fountain, and within the fountain, movement. The water deepened into light. The air trembled.
Sabine.
Lucian whispered. Her image rose through the water, like a woman surfacing from a dream. Her expression was calmer than before, not pleading this time, but determined. She touched the inside of the reflection, her lips shaping words neither of them could hear.
She said, "Help her,"
Evelyn murmured.
"Maybe now she'll show us who."
The vision opened gently, like the turning of a page. The courtyard faded, replaced by the flicker of a fire and a small cabin. Sister Bellamy sat near the hearth, her hair streaked with silver, her face thinner than it should have been. She held a little girl on her lap, Lenore, bright-eyed, maybe 7, clutching a carved wooden doll whose head had been reattached twice. Bellamy coughed, then smiled to steady the child. "Almost bedtime, my moon," she whispered. "Just one more story." Lenore tucked herself closer.
"Tell me the one about the stars that sing."
Bellamy nodded, voice soft. "Once there was a sky, so full of music it forgot how to be dark." Her words blurred, gentle and rhythmic, half prayer, half lullaby. The same song Mercy had heard in her vision, now full and unbroken. Outside, rain whispered against the window panes. A small lantern flickered on the table beside them. Bellamy's eyes drifted to it, and then back to the child. She reached out to stroke Lenore's hair, a mother's gesture, tender, reverent, final. When she finished the story, she leaned down and kissed the top of Lenore's head. "Sleep now, little one," she murmured. "The world will be kind again, one day." Lenore's eyes fluttered closed. Bellamy's did too. The fire dimmed. Time passed, uncertain, folded. Morning light slipped through the cracks of the shutter, brushing Bellamy's still form. Lenore woke to silence and the cold weight of understanding children aren't supposed to carry. The door opened sometime later. Neighbors. Voices hushed with pity. Someone lifted Lenore's hand, whispered something about the parish home. The little girl didn't resist. She looked back once toward the small cabin and the reflection of her own tear-streaked face in the darkened window. Then the vision fractured. Flame, water, ash, and grief dissolving together. Evelyn's eyes snapped open. She was kneeling at the fountain again, her hands damp with condensation. The mirror glowed faintly. The water trembled.
Bellamy died in her sleep,
she whispered.
Lenore. She must have been taken by the system. She never found her way back.
Lucian's voice was hoarse.
But she's still here. That's what Sabine was trying to say. She's not lost, just waiting.
The reflection shifted once more. Sabine appeared again, not in sorrow this time, but in peace. She placed a hand to the glass, not pleading, not warning, affirming. Evelyn felt the pulse of it through the air, through her ribs.
She's telling us mercy isn't done,
she murmured.
That the child's story isn't finished.
Lucian nodded.
And neither is ours.
The mirror dimmed, its surface smoothing like cooling wax. The fountain stilled, moonlight draping it in silver. Only the faint scent of rosemary lingered. That and the whisper of Bellamy's lullaby fading into the quiet. Evelyn reached out and touched Lucian's hand.
We'll tell her,
she said.
Mercy deserves to know she was loved.
He gave a small, solemn nod.
Lenore deserves to be found.
The wind stirred, soft, approving. The surface of the water rippled once more, reflecting all three of them for a moment. Evelyn, Lucian, and the faint outline of a woman's face behind the veil, smiling. Then the image scattered into starlight. Sleep found Evelyn the way old friends arrive, without knocking, already inside. She dreamed of heat first. Not Louisiana heat, not the soft, wet kind that carries magnolia and fried dough and arguments. This was ancient heat, dry, ceremonial, the kind of heat deserts wear when they remember they were once oceans and feel a little insulted. When she opened her dream eyes, she stood in a desert made entirely of mirrors, not glass set on sand, sand that had become glass, dunes of reflective planes, rising and falling, each curve shining with her own face. The sky above was black-purple, no stars, just a low aurora that undulated like something breathing miles overhead. Everywhere she looked, there she was. In the mirror to the left, Evelyn in velvet, hair piled high, the shopkeeper, the witch, the woman who knew precisely how many cursed objects were on the shelves and which of them were secretly lonely. In the mirror to her right, Evelyn younger, barefoot in a garden that wasn't the cruise, laughing while two boys ran circles in the sun, Cain humming, Abel laughing, the memory she'd offered the angel egg, her happiest hour. In the mirror behind her, Evelyn, feral, eyes gold, mouth red, teeth a little too sharp. The Eve who walked with Lilith in the dark, the one who said no to Eden before Eden even opened its mouth. And worst of all, in the mirror directly before her, Evelyn as monster, hair unbound and black as crows, eyes like the bottom of wells, wings of thorned light curling from her shoulders, a mother who lost everything and decided that therefore everything would be hers. She swallowed.
We don't need to see that one,
she said. The mirror didn't disagree, but it didn't change. Beneath her feet, the glass sand didn't crunch. It sang, chiming notes like someone tapping crystal bowls. Every step she took made a different tone. Every tone was a name. She walked toward the center. Dreams always have a center, even when they pretend not to. There, on a rise of mirrored dune, stood Lilith. Not the painted Lilith of fevered medieval monks. Not the dainty demoness of popular culture. Not even the almost human queen who sat drinking tea in Evelyn's better dreams. This was Lilith of origin. Her body was light contained in woman's shape. Her hair streaked behind her like midnight poured into water. Her eyes were old as wind, and from her palms, from the center of her hands, light bled. Not as in shone, as in bled. Thick, luminous, slow. It dripped from her hands onto the glass sand and turned it molten gold where it fell. Every drop cooled into a new mirror. Every mirror had a different woman. Lilith said, a voice like desert wind through harp strings.
You made it.
Evelyn stopped a respectful distance away.
You called?
I always call.
Lilith said.
You don't always answer.
I'm busy keeping a house from swallowing everything I love.
Evelyn said.
Time is a luxury.
Lilith smiled. It was a dangerous, pleased smile. A goddess proud of a student who had set something on fire correctly.
You are still sharp.
I had a good teacher,
Evelyn said, and meant it. The mirrors around them shifted. Now they showed not just Evelyn's, but lives that could have been. Evelyn's who had never left the garden. Evelyn who forgave Cain immediately. Evelyn who never forgave anyone. Evelyn who never met Lucian. Evelyn who became a saint. Evelyn who became a knife.
It's rude,
Evelyn said, eyeing them.
Showing me all the ways I failed myself.
It's not failure,
Lilith said.
It's refraction, light through circumstance. You place water before it, it ripples. You place grief before, it wounds. You place love before it.
She tipped her head.
It returns.
Evelyn looked down at the bleeding hands.
You're hurt.
I am always hurt,
Lilith said, utterly calm.
Creation is a hemorrhage. What you mistake for holiness is simply a woman refusing to stop pouring.
She stepped closer, and the light from Lilith's hands washed over her. It wasn't hot. It was knowing. It saw her down to the old bone. The god touched marrow curled around her rage.
You smell of the angel egg,
Lilith said, eyes narrowing in interest.
And of that jealous one.
Lucifer has been visiting,
Evelyn said dryly.
He calls it domestic virtue.
Lilith laughed, warm, unkind, affectionate.
He would. He cannot apologize without making a scene.
He sent the angel egg. Something he won't explain,
Evelyn said, watching her.
Something that hums like home.
Of course he did,
Lilith said.
He wanted to give back what he destroyed.
Evelyn bristled.
Destroyed?
But Lilith was already lifting one glowing hand and gesturing to the mirrors. They all changed at once. Now they showed reflections as portals. Water, glass, polished bronze, the surface of the crew's teapot, the angel shell, the courtyard fountain, Mercy's floor, Annalise's framed portrait, all of them openings, all of them connected by a thin thread of gold.
Every reflection is an opening,
Lilith said. The glass desert picked up the words and repeated them in 1,000 Evelyn voices.
Every opening,
Lilith continued,
is a return.
A return of what?
Evelyn asked, throat dry.
Of her, of course.
Lilith said, and her eyes softened the way they only did when she spoke of daughters, literal, figurative, fallen, forgotten.
Of children taken, of magic bound, of memories you hid so well you started to believe you had none.
Evelyn thought of Mercy, sobbing on a floor burned with spirals, of Bellamy's confused, regretful ghost, of Sabine rising again and again through water, of the boy in the blue raincoat, drawn to the crew because something inside it recognized him.
Lenore,
she whispered. Lilith nodded.
And others. She is not the only door, she is only the most recent.
Evelyn swallowed hard.
if every reflection is an opening, does that mean that the crew is vulnerable?
Lilith lifted one blood-light hand, and in the mirror to Evelyn's right, she saw the shop, front room, glass cases, gilt frames, and in every reflective surface, eyes, not malevolent, expectant.
The crew is listening.
Lilith said,
Your fountain is an altar. Your mirrors are messengers. Your egg is a bell. You are sitting at the center of a pattern you did not weave, Evelyn.
That sounds like him,
Evelyn muttered.
It sounds like all of you.
Lilith corrected, smiling.
Mortals are always building altars and being surprised when gods answer.
The light in Lilith's hand brightened. It ran down her wrists now, dripping off her elbows, pooling at her feet. Where it landed, mirrors bloomed like water lilies. Evelyn frowned.
Why are you bleeding for this?
Because calling things back always costs.
Lilith said.
Because you cannot reopen what was closed without paying the toll. Because he woke the angel egg, and I will not let him shape the story alone.
Then help us. Help Mercy. Help the child.
I already am.
Lilith said and stepped forward. She reached out and took Evelyn's hand. Evelyn expected heat. Instead, she felt weight. The weight of choices, of children named and buried, of lovers refused, of centuries walked in exile with her head high. It pressed into her palm, into her bones.
Remember this,
Lilith said.
They never took her because she was unclean. They took her because she was possible.
Evelyn's breath hitched. Lilith's eyes were very kind now.
So are you.
Light flared blinding, white gold, cracking through the mirrors like dawn through cathedral windows. The desert sang. Evelyn's hand burned with a spiral of wing and water. She woke. She was in her own bed above the crew, lamplight low, midnight pressing against the window. The house was quiet, but awake, the way houses get when everyone inside has been dreaming at the same time. Her right palm stung. She lifted it. There, faint but undeniable, was the winged spiral, the same shape from Sabine's locket, from Mercy's floor, from the frozen fountain, not bruised, not inked, impressed, as if the light itself had left its thumbprint.
Of course,
she whispered.
Of course.
She rose, robe trailing, and crossed to the window. Outside, the courtyard fountain gleamed, not with moonlight, but with its own internal sheen. The water was still. The stone cherubs wore their usual bored expressions. Evelyn leaned close to the glass. Her reflection looked back, hair mussed from sleep, eyes dark, mouth undecided. Then, a half second later, her reflection blinked, a beat behind. Like the mirrors in the dream, like Sabine in the water, like something on the other side of glass, trying to keep up. Evelyn exhaled, long and slow.
Every reflection is an opening,
She murmured, touching the cold pane.
Every opening is a return.
Downstairs, under silken salt, the angel egg pulsed once, in perfect agreement. The story has crossed its threshold. What was hidden is now in motion. What was broken is remembering its shape, and the past has stopped waiting for permission. Sabine has shown them the truth. Mercy's child is not lost. The crew has become a listening altar, and Evelyn has been marked by something older than that. Every reflection is an opening. Every opening is a return. But returns come with a cost. The mirrors are awake. The house is awake. The city is shifting around promises it never meant to keep. And what was once only a haunting has become a calling. Next time, the pattern tightens, the old powers move closer, and the future of the child named Lenore will no longer remain in the shadows. The story is no longer asking to be remembered. It is choosing. We will continue.